Good afternoon. I'm Daniel McInnes, the Shared Stewardship Coordinator for the Southern region of the USDA Forest Service located in Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to the virtual signing of our newest Shared Stewardship Agreement. Today, Florida becomes the 5th state in the South and 16th in the nation to sign such an agreement. These agreements strengthen our partnership with states, will increase the scope and scale of critical forest treatments that support communities, and will improve forest conditions. With concerns of the ongoing pandemic and our aim to maintain the safety and health of all involved, and of course, taking advantage of technology, we're conducting this signing virtually. So please forgive any glitches as we tie in several locations across the region. This signing is only the second shared stewardship agreement in the nation to be completed virtually. This agreement brings together the USDA's Forest Service, Natural Resources Conservation Service, and Farm Service Agency with the Florida Forest Service and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Shared stewardship is all about working together in an integrated way to make decisions and take actions across the landscape. These agreements establish a framework for federal and state agencies to improve collaboration. They provide a forum to identify mutual priorities and help to focus on opportunities to leverage resources that accomplish shared goals and effectively respond to the increasing ecological challenges and natural resources concerns in the state of Florida and throughout the southern U.S. The USDA, the state of Florida, and our other conservation partners have a long history of working together, and we are grateful for their continued partnership and commitment to this agreement. At this time, please allow me to introduce Aaron Albury to provide a few remarks. Aaron is the state forester with the Florida Forest Service and is joining us from Tallahassee, Florida. Aaron?
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you to everyone in attendance here today. This signing has been in the works for many months with several scheduling challenges and a COVID-19 pandemic to blame for the delay. On this end, we even had to find a new state forester since we started this process, and I am honored to represent the Florida Forest Service as we finally make it happen this afternoon. The Shared Stewardship Agreement formalizes and strengthens the existing relationships that the Florida Forest Service already has with the U.S. Forest Service, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, Natural Resources Conservation Service, and the Farm Service Agency. The state of Florida is complex and very diverse in terms of its natural resources, its populations, and also its resource conservation agencies. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to the management of these resources. This agreement targets limited shared resources such as timber, water, and threatened and endangered species in order to maximize their benefit and ensure those resources remain healthy, viable, and available for future generations. It increases our ability to manage healthy forest while also providing wood products, reducing wildfire risk, controlling invasive species, and supporting local economies. As I already mentioned, this shared stewardship agreement reinforces the Florida Forest Service commitment to our partner agencies, and that can be very beneficial in times of adversity. The state of Florida has certainly seen its share over the last couple of years with the ongoing impacts of Hurricane Michael on the Panhandle and the timber industry nearly 2 years ago, the damaging effects of several large wildfires this past spring, and the current operational challenges and fiscal impacts of the COVID pandemic. In these challenging times that we currently find ourselves in, these types of partnerships are more important than ever, and I'm honored to be here today to sign this agreement on behalf of the Florida Forest Service.
Thank you, Aaron. Next, I'd like to introduce the Assistant Director for the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, Dr. Thomas Eason, for remarks, and he is also coming to us from Tallahassee, Florida. Dr. Eason?
Thanks, Daniel, and good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here representing the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission on this important event. We have a long history of working with the U.S. Forest Service, who is an excellent partner, as well as all of the other signatories on this Memorandum of Understanding. And I just wanted to take a minute to talk about how we're building off of a great foundation of work that we've all done together. From the fish and wildlife perspective, there are literally hundreds of species of important fish and wildlife that depend on the national forests, the state forests, and the landscapes across Florida, and we value and appreciate the partnerships we have with everyone in this shared MOU. And just to point out some of the areas where we have done work across the national forests, which total over 1.2 million acres here in Florida. In the Apalachicola National Forest, we've had a long-standing partnership focused on wild turkey and their conservation efforts, as well as doing important work for flatwood salamanders and a lot of other ephemeral wetland species. In the Osceola National Forest, we've been doing some recent work with the Forest Service on ephemeral wetlands and restoring hydrology and habitat in those areas, as well as in the Ocala National Forest, a long history of great bear conservation there, as well as restoration of prairie wetlands and many other projects. And these projects benefit a wide array of species, from, as I mentioned, black bears and flatwood salamanders to red-cockaded woodpeckers, Florida scrub jays, northern bobwhite quail, gopher tortoises, and the list goes on and on. So I will not belabor it anymore. It's just our pleasure to be part of this cooperative effort, and definitely appreciate all the work that our partners do, and looking forward to seeing what more conservation successes we can all work on together as we implement this MOU. So thank you, Daniel. I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Eason. So there are going to be two U.S. Forest Service signatories on this shared stewardship agreement for Florida. Kelly Russell, the forest supervisor for the National Forest in Florida, will sign from Tallahassee, as will Ken Arney, the regional forester for the U.S. Forest Service Southern Region, who is located in Atlanta, Georgia. Ken will provide remarks on behalf of the U.S. Forest Service. Ken?
Thank you, Daniel. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for joining us for this historic event. Shared stewardship goes beyond collaboration. It offers an opportunity for us to be more deliberate and comprehensive when addressing our urgent challenges and leveraging resources across the landscape. No single organization can meet these challenges alone. The USDA and partners have enjoyed a history of strong relationships, and we're here today to build upon that. Today, we celebrate Florida being the 5th state in the South to sign the Shared Stewardship Agreement. There are 10 other states across the nation with an agreement in place, but I have to say, with a little bias, of course, that they mean a little more here in the South. I say that because the fact is that 86% of the forest land in the South is privately owned. The Forest Service only owns 13.4 million acres across 13 national forest and grasslands. Florida has an estimated 16.9 million acres of forest land, with roughly 63% of that in private ownership. To meet today and the future of the ecological challenges, shared stewardship is our best option. One recent example of shared stewardship is the Florida Scenic Trail. The Florida National Scenic Trail, while administered by the Forest Service, is truly a collaborative effort by its very nature, with more than 40 partnership agreements throughout Florida. This trail traverses the entire state of Florida and is approximately 1,500 miles long. Of this 1,500 miles, only about 200 miles are actually on national forest lands. The remainder is hosted by nearly all state land management agencies, many county lands, private landowners, and other federally managed lands. We currently have 2 multi-million-dollar projects bringing together a wide variety of partners to enhance and preserve the trail. In the spirit of this partnership, we aim to replicate and improve upon this memorandum of understanding. Shared stewardship isn't just about recreation. It strengthens our bonds in any priority landscape shared by land and natural resource management organizations, such as water quality, reducing community exposure to wildfire, or building resilience, rural economies through development of forest products markets. As a former state forester, I can understand the challenges of working with federal agencies, but I can certainly tell you of the benefits as well. The more we work together, the more we can do to sustain the health, diversity, and productivity of the forest lands in Florida. I can't tell you how excited I am to add Florida to the shared stewardship fold. I'm honored to be here with these partners, and I'm looking forward to what the future holds for the Forest Service and all of us that are involved here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Next, please allow me to introduce Juan Hernandez, State Conservationist for the Natural Resource Conservation Service, headquartered in Gainesville, Florida, for brief remarks. Juan?
Thank you. And thank you all for the opportunity to forward NRCS to be part of this agreement. It is a fantastic opportunity, not only now, but I'm looking forward for the future outcomes of this agreement. There is no question that partnerships is essential to everything that we do today. And these partnerships actually allow us a much greater success at meeting our conservation goals, protecting our natural resources. The shared stewardship agreement will strengthen our relationship and our commitment to each other to work together in these mutually beneficial areas. So like I said, looking forward for the outcome of this agreement and for years to come working as a team. Thank you.
Thank you, Juan. Next to provide brief remarks is Shelley Mccorkle. Shelley is the State Executive Director for the Farm Service Agency, also headquartered in Gainesville, Florida. Shelley? I think you're on mute, Shelley.
Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me say a few words, and we're very honored to be a part of this memorandum and the shared stewardship as well. I concur with all of the statements and that have already been stated with our partners, and I look forward to continuing a great working relationship with all of them. Florida Farm FSA Agency is proud and has a strong partnership and relationships. Our combined focus will ensure that our strong economic opportunities for Florida agriculture stay in place. Thank you for letting me say a few words, and I'm honored again to be a part of this memorandum.
All right, thank you, Shelley. So we will further test our technological abilities now as we conduct the signing of the agreement. So we'll allow each signatory to sign their copy of the agreement, and if you could, take a few moments to display your signed agreement for the camera. All right, looks like everyone's ready to go. Let's start with Aaron Albury, State Forester with the Florida Forest Service in Tallahassee. Oh, look at that, he's on top of things. Thank you, Aaron. All right, we'll now shift to Dr. Thomas Eason, Assistant Director of the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission in Tallahassee. Perfect. Thank you, Dr. Eason. And now Juan Hernandez, State Conservationist for NRCS in Gainesville. Excellent. Thank you, Juan. Next up is Shelley Mccorkle, State Executive Director of Farm Service Agency in Gainesville. Perfect. Thank you, Shelley. We now move to Kelly Russell, Forest Supervisor for the National Forest in Florida in Tallahassee. Excellent. Thank you, Kelly. And the final signature is the Regional Forester for the U.S. Forest Service, Ken Arney in Atlanta. All right, and that, ladies and gentlemen, completes the signing for the Florida Shared Stewardship Agreement. Unfortunately, Teams Live meetings do not allow multiple camera feeds to be broadcast simultaneously, but I can see all of the signatories, and I can tell you that they have ear-to-ear grins and they're clapping, and as they hold up a copy of their agreement. So thank you all for your participation today in this historic moment among the Florida state agencies and USDA agencies. As proven across the country, these agreements truly speak to the beneficial steps taken toward reaching our conservation and restoration goals. I'd like to thank each of our signers today and recognize their dedication to the state of Florida. We really, really do value and appreciate your partnership. The complete signed agreement will be available for public viewing later today. Please look forward to stories and posts on this meaningful agreement on your local outlets and on federal outlets as well. So I'm Daniel McInnes in Atlanta. Thank you again for joining us today from across the region for this virtual event. For more information on shared stewardship, please visit the U.S. Forest Service's website and navigate to the Managing Lands section. This concludes our ceremony.